Would you please rise for the playing of our national anthem?
Good morning, Oneonta Class of 2020 and families. I hope all of you have been staying safe and healthy during these chaotic times. Even though these past few months had some unexpected events, it's important for all of you to be proud of yourselves, celebrate, and reflect on the memories and accomplishments you've made here at OHS. You all have earned your way to be here. You all have battled adversity and may even have done things you never thought you were capable of. Again, be proud and cherish this moment because this is an experience that marks the end of an amazing journey and the start of a whole new one ahead of you. Wherever your path takes you after this, whether it's in the military, into the workforce, into college, or any other opportunities, just know you're a part of something. And that is the pride of being an Oneonta Yellow Jacket. You see, our school community is a family. OHS is something we all have a connection to, and something we all can come back to. Recently, we all have experienced some unfortunate events that have taken place. No matter your opinion on the state of our nation, I think many of us feel a divide. Many people are coming together, yet we also see negativity and separation. In the scheme of things, we are witnessing madness all over the country. Despite all this turmoil, we have to remember that we still have each other. Believe it or not, we all have a bond from walking the halls every day at OHS. We will always have OHS and the amazing people, the teachers, coaches, and staff with whom we have developed relationships with. We may not agree on everything, and we may not have the same opinions, but at the end of the day, we still have each other. Now, once we all step into the real world, we need to keep that in mind. We need to hold the bond we have with each other and expand it to other people. The more people we are able to touch, the stronger the bond we will have. And that bond will enable us to affect change and combat the evils in our communities. After this, we will all embark on our own journeys and enter what folks call reality. From here on, all I ask of you is this: educate yourself, gain new perspectives, and have empathy for others. Let's talk more about education. Education is imperative, and I'm not just talking about going to college. If you're going to college, great, but if you're not, that is totally fine, because you still have opportunities to educate yourself. Take the time to seek factual and unbiased information. Understand our country's history and our governmental system. Educate yourself on the history of all ethnic groups and races. Become culturally competent. Educate yourself to be self-sufficient so you can save money and don't have to rely on others to fix your car or even do jobs around your house. Educate yourself to change the world and to better yourself and others, because education is power and it stays with you forever. Next, I urge you all to gain new perspectives. Today, we lack understanding others. We all come from different backgrounds and have experienced different things. Personally, I am blessed. I have a level of privilege and I acknowledge that. However, in times of conflict or tension, I try to be open-minded. I try to understand the others, really hear them out. You see, we all unconsciously have specific information which can cause problems. Confirmational bias is the tendency to search for, interpret, favor, and recall information that confirms or supports one's prior beliefs, one's personal beliefs or values. This can cause problems because if we're only seeking information that appeals to us, then how are we going to understand other people and come up with compromises and solutions? That's why understanding other perspectives is so important. Not everyone thinks the way you do. Not everyone was raised the way you were. Not everyone lives in the same demographic as you. And not everyone has your experiences. So, talk to people in a civil manner. Converse with them and hear them out. Try to learn their story, because who knows? You may have more in common than you think. Lastly, I urge you all to have empathy for others. All of us go through hardships. Some of us are able to move on quicker than others. But at the end of the day, we all need someone there for us who at least shows that we as humans care. Now, empathy is a word that we all hear, and I believe we all have an idea when to be empathetic. However, I believe not all of us really learn how to show empathy. To help with that, I'm going to give you some ways you can do this. The first way is to reach out. You may seem like you're bothering someone, but truthfully, by reaching out, it portrays to that person that someone cares for them and is there for them. The second way is to provide them with a listening ear. Sometimes people need someone who they can just get stuff off their chest to or rant to. It might not make any sense to you, and you might not fully understand, but you're allowing them to be heard and to express their emotions. The last way you can be empathetic is to take action. Offer the person or group of people a helping hand. Buy them lunch or dinner. Donate. Help with an errand or task that is overwhelming them. Speak up, support them, and stand with them. Don't second guess. Just do it. Because it's okay to show that you care. Truthfully, I believe empathy and acts of empathy are an investment not only for yourself, but for the rest of the world. Because maybe that one time that you showed empathy to someone, they were influenced to do the same to someone else, and to someone else, and so on. You see, this chain of showing others that we are there for them and that we care for them is something that I truly believe can get us somewhere. This is how we can change the world and unite. But it all starts with you. What will you do? OHS Class of 2020, I'm proud of you and I love you all. At the end of the day, whatever you strive to do, just remember that you have this family. This is your family, and we are in this together. Now, before I end my speech, I want you all to do something for me. Whoever you may be with right now, give them a hug and tell them you love them. Cherish this moment with your loved ones and don't take it for granted, because you might not get this moment ever again. Be proud of yourselves, be proud of your friends and peers, be proud of your school, and be proud of what is next to come. I wish you all the best of luck on your future endeavors. We are the class that can change the world, so let's do it together, and let's set the example. Thank you.
Good morning. Pay it forward. 3 simple words with profound meaning. It has been said that paying it forward is an expense we can all afford, but one humanity can't afford to live without. We as the class of 2020 believe this is true. Acts of kindness build up exponentially in a community, and one good deed leads to another. We believe every student who enters through our doors matters, and every student should feel like they matter. Every student can make a positive impact, no matter how small. We want every student to know about the power they have as individuals to change the world. We need to inspire our peers to want to leave a piece of themselves behind to make a change for future classes. When we recognize students for who they are, we inspire them to do just that. Our school is filled with students who possess ideas, goals, and aspirations. We want each and every student to know that their ideas matter. Therefore, it is with great pride that I introduce to you the senior gift, the Class of 2020 Pay It Forward Scholarship. This scholarship will be awarded every year for the next 4 years to a student who displays kindness, generosity, and initiative. Oneonta High School has instilled in us a desire to give back, and we call on all future classes to do the same. Although we are currently living in unprecedented times, we hope this scholarship will encourage future students to adopt the attitude this class has had during these challenging times. Thank you.
Good morning. Like you, I'm really happy that we're here today. Parents, guardians, family members, members of the Board of Education. And Mr. Butterman, I know that you're leaving the board. Just want to wish you the very best and thank you for your service to our community, so thank you. And honored graduates of the class of 2020, it is a pleasure to be able to address you even under such unprecedented circumstances. It has proven to be quite an interesting senior year for you all. But with class, compassion, and understanding, we come together today, this day, your graduation day. It is a day of thanks and celebration. I thank you students, you parents and guardians, our teachers, administrators, staff, and members of our Board of Education, as your collective efforts and commitment to each other culminate on this day. Seniors, I vividly recall when you made your way to Link Crew orientation as incoming 9th graders, as I was still the high school principal. You, this class, the class of 2020, was different. You were different as a group. You just came into this new building and made it your own. It was clear on that orientation day that you were a special group. You did not disappoint. You are intelligent, you are talented, and you will go on to do great things. You have contributed much, and for that, we are grateful. As I thought about what I wanted to say to you all, it became very clear that what I have for you is hope. Because as I think about our collective future, which will be in your capable hands, I am hopeful. So, I hope that you all recognize the fact that you didn't leave anything unfinished here at this school, even though it may feel as though you did. You did plenty. I hope that you know that even with a shortened senior year, you have left the Oneonta Senior High School better than when you found it. I hope that you know that we, as a school community, could not be more proud of the way that you, in so many capacities, have represented our school, this community, yourself, and your families as students, performers, athletes, and as human beings throughout your time here in this school district. I hope that you know that we have so very much enjoyed having the opportunity to share this journey with you. I hope that you realize just how special and strong you are. I hope that you never limit yourselves. You all possess tremendous abilities. There may be many occasions throughout your lives when you feel you may not be able to do or accomplish something, but you can. I hope that you never give in to the naysayers who may doubt your abilities. I hope that you don't rely on other people for your own happiness. You enjoy your life and surround yourselves with those who value your happiness and you theirs. I hope that you don't buy into the labels that may be placed upon you, especially when it comes to degrees of importance. It is easy for people to get wrapped up in their own sense of importance. As you progress through your lives, don't be that person. In fact, please be just the opposite and recognize importance in who people are and not what they are. I hope that you recognize just how powerful your words and actions are and that you use both for what is good and just. I hope that you are filled with wisdom and courage to be bold when it is not comfortable to be so. And I hope that your lives are filled with many, many blessings that enrich, satisfy, and complete your long, happy, and healthy lives. Soon you will go on from our hive here at OHS and do those wonderful things and wear many hats. But whatever hat it is you are wearing, wear it with respect and simply do more than anyone expects you to. Just be a great student, a great soldier, a great employee, a great employer. Be a great mom or dad, a great member of a family, and simply be a great human being. In the words of singer and songwriter Tim McGraw, when you get where you're going, don't forget, turn back around. Help the next one in line. Always stay humble and kind. Humble and kind is exactly how I will remember you, the class of 2020. It has been a pleasure. Thank you.
Good morning. That's right. I will now read the list of awards. Students, if I call your name, please stand. Nathaniel Coleman, the Rhodes Award for Salutatorian, Senior Year Scholarship Prize for Salutatorian. Olivia Hansen, OHS Alumni Association Achievement Award. Ryan Hasbrook, Principal's Perseverance Award. Jacob Haynes, Oneonta High School Achievement Award. Kiera Hazard, Jacqueline L. Berry Memorial Award. Bradley Jacobs, Future for Oneonta Foundation Incorporated Award, Choir Leadership Award. Ashley James, Oneonta City Schools Clerical Association Award. Stephen Jellick, Merrill Gibbs Award. Morgan Gibson, Service Club Recognition Award, 6th Ward Athletic Club Athlete of the Year Award. Lane Johnson, American Legion Post 259 Citizenship Award. Mala Johnson, Mayor James F. Lettuce Service Award, Forte Music Award, Service Club Recognition Award. Elias Cabrozonis, Community Bank N.A. Cameron Coffer, Principal's Perseverance Award. Ariana Lang, Principal's Perseverance Award. Levi LaTourette, Nanash Award, OHS Alumni C. Kayatsa Instrumental Award. Sydney Lawrence, Frank Diz, and Joanne LaMonica Perseverance Award. Zaire Lawrence, Robert W. Skidmore Jr. Memorial Award. Devin Laux, Lions Club James T. Catella Engineering Award. Andrew Lutz, Ruth S. Heupel Martha Chapter 116 Award. Edward McGraw, Lions Club Dr. Philip Robbins Award. Bradley Morrell, Louis Armstrong Jazz Award, Charles A. Belden Award. Jacob O'Brien Clapper, Principal's Perseverance Award. Olivia O'Donnell, Service Club Recognition Award. Emile Ogeron, American Legion Post 259 Citizenship Award. Alexander Osterhout, Principal's Perseverance Award. Hastings Otino, Forte Music Award, James D. Van Wert Memorial Award. You may now congratulate the award recipients.
Good morning. It is my pleasure to announce the following recipients of scholarships. Students, when you hear your name, please stand. Nathaniel Coleman, Clark Foundation Scholarship, Andy Goebel Scholarship, Gary Johnson Memorial Scholarship, New York State Education Scholarship for Academic Excellence, Dollars for Scholars, Stan and Linda Syvertson Family Scholarship. Megan Catella, OHS Alumni Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, Josiah and Mary Louise Lawson Memorial Scholarship. Olivia Hanbridge, Clark Foundation Scholarship, Andy Goebel Scholarship, Oneonta Italian American Club Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, Founders Scholarship. Olivia Hansen, Dollars for Scholars, Lindsay Marie J. Harvey Memorial Scholarship. Kiara Hazard, Oneonta Teachers Association Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, Richard A. Murphy Memorial Scholarship. Martine Hitchcock, Dollars for Scholars, First Responders Scholarship. Bradley Jacobs, Dollars for Scholars, Zaretti Family Scholarship. Morgan Gibson, Catherine Ingersoll Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, Stephen A. Lutz Memorial Scholarship. Mala Johnson, Dollars for Scholars, James and Carol Baker Family Scholarship. Emma Knudsen, Clark Foundation Scholarship, OHS Alumni Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, Herb and Ray Froh Memorial Scholarship. Cameron Coffer, Roy Turner Oneonta PBA Scholarship, 6th Ward Athletic Club Association Incorporated Scholarship. Jillian LaHood, Gary Johnson Memorial Scholarship, OHS Alumni Association Pay It Forward Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, James C. and Mary Louise Austin Memorial Scholarship. Levi LaTourette, Dollars for Scholars, Reverend Richard H. Fry Memorial Scholarship. Sydney Lawrence, Dollars for Scholars, Stephen A. Lutz Memorial Scholarship, Wanda Gallup Busher Memorial Scholarship. Olivia Litzinger, Clark Foundation Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, Alice S. Clark Memorial Scholarship. Devin Laux, Dollars for Scholars, Shane Robert Marmette Memorial Scholarship. Andrew Lutz, Dollars for Scholars, Pasquale and Mary Leone Memorial Scholarship. Kylie McKee, Dollars for Scholars, Frank W. Getman Sr. Memorial Scholarship. Edward McGraw, Bruce Jester Baseball Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, George Lambros Memorial Scholarship, Marjorie Graham Scholarship. Isaac Medina, Dollars for Scholars, Jim Constanti That's a Good Start Scholarship. Leah Medina, Oneonta Teachers Association Scholarship. Francis Miller, OHS Class of 1979 Memorial Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, Francis E. Rose Scholarship. Bradley Morell, Clark Foundation Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, Angie Bartuzzi Memorial Scholarship. Nadia Nelson, Dollars for Scholars, Frank G. and Ethel E. Becker Memorial Scholarship. Olivia O'Donnell, Clark Foundation Scholarship, American Legion Post Number 259, 6th Ward Athletic Club Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, Thomas M. Hewson Scholarship Endowment Fund. Emile Orgeron. Dollars for Scholars, Robert R. Warner Memorial Scholarship. Alexander Osterhout. Elwin W. Chase Award, Ava Jenks Scholarship. Dollars for Scholars, John and Catherine Gallagher Memorial Scholarship. Hastings Otiano. Clark Foundation Scholarship, Andy Goebel Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, Douglas Parsons Memorial Scholarship. Juliana Pigeon. CSEA Scholarship, Dollars for Scholars, Brooks Barbecue Charitable Foundation Scholarship. Congratulations to all of the recipients.
Thank you, Principal Wilsonholm and Superintendent Brindley, for asking me to say a few words to the incredible class of 2020, their families, our faculty, and the whole OHS family. I really hope everyone has been staying safe and healthy, and my deepest sympathies to any and all people and businesses that have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, which I know is far too many. First of all, let me tell you why I'm surprised and feel lucky to be giving this address, which at the same time will start my work of backing up that claim that our class is incredible, as that is far from superficial flattery. My very biased guess is that the class of 2020 will likely go down as one of the best academic classes in OHS history, and likely the same will be said of our artistic, athletic, and leadership achievements. It's hard for me to convey just how deeply grateful I am to have had so many smart and academically focused classmates as both peer role models to motivate me and lifesavers to help me when I was stuck on schoolwork. And I think that is what I'll remember most about this class, how willing this group of students has been to help one another. For example, our salutatorian and my good friend Nate Coleman, aka the math guru as we call him, has greatly helped not only me, but all of his classmates with countless problems. While I'll always poke fun at Nate for being such a genius, his constant generosity and dedication to others is truly reflective of this class as a whole. I know that in other classes, there's an unmistakable air of competition that at times can border on hostility. But I think all of us here in the class of 2020 have instead enjoyed an atmosphere of genuine desire to help and make each other better. This rare but powerful combination, selflessness and a daily drive for growth, is just one of the many reasons why I feel so lucky to have been part of such a special group. Much of my work and what I have learned throughout high school are in many ways the product of my peers' help and drive to make each other better. With this in mind, I can only hope my words today overlap to some degree with the thoughts of my fellow classmates. And I promise you all, just watch what all of these students are going to do in the future. Great things, you can be sure of. On March 12th, we had all just assumed we would see our friends and teachers at school the next day, like the inevitable sunrise. Did I really pay attention to my classmates' hilarious little personality quirks that day? Did I take even a second to ponder the work each teacher had done to prepare and give each lesson, or how our custodians had yet again made every room clean and comfortable? Now confined to a house, and most often one room, I now wonder if I took even a second to enjoy simply walking around our school. No, I didn't, because I would be there again tomorrow for sure, so none of it was worth taking note of. Pandemics, lockdowns, closings, all science fiction beyond the realm of our imagination. The last 3 months have proven to us, with savage poignancy, the importance of being grateful for the here and now. The past is gone and unchangeable. What tomorrow will look like is truly unpredictable and far from guaranteed. We have learned, more than most senior classes, I suspect, to take absolutely nothing for granted. And I think because of that, we will all have a deeper and more durable gratitude for even the mundane things in life, once they return to us. Now, if you had told any of us on March 12th that for the rest of the year we'd be able to sleep a few extra hours in the morning, eat whatever we want, wear whatever we want, and be online all day with our friends, I don't think many of us would have complained. However, having the pandemic coerce almost constant screen time upon us for our education, it has actually given us unique insight into the huge shortcomings of technology when compared to the irreplaceable value of a caring teacher and motivated students in a real classroom. Before, we could raise our hand in a relaxed manner, knowing we would develop the conversation along logically and get an answer. In the remote classroom of this pandemic world, we have to anxiously scan for nonverbal cues and balance on the tightrope between interrupting the speaker and losing the microphone to another speaker. This often results in awkward gaps of silence and interruption and taps much of our mental energy. No, I think we've all learned that remote learning via technology will never pretend to approximate the value of a classroom of curious students led by a passionate teacher. Not even close. So our initial collective roar of joy was soon replaced by a feeling of sadness with a new hole in our lives. I soon found that I sorely missed the subtle but priceless characteristics of each of my classmates, whether it be Hastings' hilarious laugh, Mary's annoying need to color code everything, or Teddy's habit of always chomping at his chody strings. It was odd to think how these seemingly minuscule details were what I missed most about going to school. I think this goes to show how even the best technology can only capture such a small fraction of what made each and every day at OHS so special. Our melancholy was also initially exacerbated by the generous workload our OHS teachers gave us. I remember thinking to myself, wow, this is about as much work and time as I did before the break. I thought they were going to cut us some slack here. This was not easier for sure, at least not for Oniana. Then I realized that 3 months of no external demands to organize and prioritize my time would have driven me insane and possibly damaged our next steps to college or working life. My initial jealousy of other high schools where students were doing close to nothing transformed into admiration and gratitude for the dedication and professionalism of our OHS teachers. But still, through the screen, their magic has been a bit diluted. But none of us will forget that magic. My calculus teacher, Mrs. Sitz, prepared a goodie bag for all of her students with a note saying how proud she was of each one of us a couple of days before our AP test. Miss Sitz was also kind enough to personally drive to my house to drop it off for me, which I'll admit is because I didn't know we were supposed to go to the school that day to pick it up. But I will never forget that genuine act of kindness. Similarly, Mr. DePau also personally drove to my house, this time not by any mistake of mine, on the day that would have been my last senior concert to drop off the flowers I would have worn that night. I think I speak for all of the seniors in band when I say how kind and heartfelt that action was. But of course, I can't forget all the hilarious memories these incredible teachers have given me. From Mr. Mushtair's educational yelling every day in class and his signature phrase, student, to making fun of Mr. Frankowiak's mystifying love for cucumber lime Gatorade, and even Mr. Heacox's sarcastic jabs that amazingly just never miss. I can't express how much I will miss these phenomenal teachers and how grateful I am for all the fond memories to look back on. My parents would always marvel when I told them how our school was devoid of those stereotypical subdivisions, groups, and labels that they had growing up. When they would talk to friends and family, the first OHS brag they would pull out would be about how tolerant our school is. I never felt like there were tribes in our school, and that is a great feeling. Most of the credit for that has to go to you parents, so thank you. There are not many schools like this, where a hello from anyone would not be unexpected. I really want everyone to take a minute and realize how tolerant, accepting, and unified this class of 2020 is, since that is what I am most proud of. Many smart people are saying that tribalism is perhaps the greatest threat to our world, and many also say the strongest seeds for it are planted in the college years. So let's try to always remember the special unity we had here and how good that made us feel. Our education these last 4 years at OHS has revolved around the principle that there are underlying truths about the world that are both fascinating to learn and invaluable for us to know in order to make future contributions to society. But because these common truths are something that can unify us all, those same forces of tribalism can seek to weaken them. Look at this COVID-19 pandemic, which would be a purely medical issue, has somehow absorbed some crossfire of passionate opinions and politics. Instead of a consensus of medical experts, the tribal tendency has caused many to instead find comfort in answers from those that they simply agree with on other completely unrelated topics. Thinking about that lately, I've decided on one thing. We should be courageous and not afraid to go rogue when intellectual freedom and honesty demands it. If all of your friends and family with the same general inclinations and opinions as you all profess one simple story about the state of the world, should it be taken as a fact immediately? Because we know from our tough classes here, simple stories do not ever easily reflect reality. But this will be hard, as it is such an instinct for us to latch on to concise, neat narratives. Instead, perhaps we should prove everything for ourselves, because our OHS education has given us the training and tools to do that hard work. The lessons from our classrooms had one underlying foundation, that science, math, literature, and historical facts are all very laborious, detailed, and meticulous disciplines, but they are the only way to the real truth. And they have taught us to do these things as independent, curious investigators, armed with the power to relish the rare ability to come to different conclusions than all those folks were stereotyped to agree with. It might be more thrilling to do that and surprise even ourselves than fall into a predictable pattern without doing any of our own digging. For example, we're expected to say that climate change is the greatest threat of our lifetime, but perhaps the startling and accelerating loss of biodiversity is even more urgent. So with all the many displays of our common truth and peril over the last year, my thought is that whenever a potential fact or view of the world is presented to me, I will always say to myself, maybe so, maybe not. Let me investigate for myself. If we can continue to listen to everyone with an open mind, as we have done here, then we can continue to grow and better understand one another. Only by venturing to see what may be outside of the popular narratives will we have the opportunity to discover something new and create our own intellectual signature. In the last few weeks, the most vital concern of racial injustices have been center stage for all of us. To know how to best focus our needed efforts for such a complex problem, we need to distrust simple explanations and avoid the natural urge to surrender to a tribe of thought. We can then use the great skills we've learned here to do the hard individual work of digging deep into objective facts in order to better see precisely where the root of those inequities lie. Only then can we know exactly where to best direct our energy towards powerful and specific corrective measures that lead to real and enduring change. The class of 2020 is truly incredible. In addition to the most important reasons I mentioned earlier, let's not forget that we have numerous college athletes. Many are going to their dream colleges, and many are imbued with the entrepreneurial spirit and are starting their own businesses. I'm so proud to have been a part of it these last 4 years, and smile whenever I remember that you will all be my fellow alumni forever. Thank you.
Families, friends, colleagues, members of the Board of Education, Superintendent Brindley, and our guests of honor, the members of the class of 2020. Good afternoon, and welcome to the 151st commencement ceremony of Oneonta High School. I'm just going to take this in for a minute and just look at each of you because I have missed you so much. And I am at the same time suppressing my inner Joe Cocker. And yes, don't be afraid, I left the karaoke mic in my office, but honestly, you are so beautiful. You really, really are. On the transition, before I start this little speech for you, I really wanted to confess something to you before you left me, something about myself that I don't think you know, and it's a risk. You know, I might be changing the way you think of me, but here goes. I am a Hallmark Channel superfan. Whew, boy, it feels good to get it out. What does that exactly mean? What's the difference between a fan and a super fan? Well, a Hallmark Channel fan might not have the app on her device. The fan might not keep an inventory and check off all of the movies that she has watched and get notifications of the new ones that are going to be premiering. The fan might not set the DVR to record 2 to 3 of these movies in as many days, and I might add that between the months of November through March 1st, that number could rise considerably. My fondness for Station 312 began a couple of years ago. I was drawn to the predictable storylines and the happy endings. I found comfort in them. The characters were likable. They never fought. Even when somebody got left at the altar, they maintained that friendship. There was no violence or any R-rated material. When I was watching a Hallmark Channel movie, my mind could just unwind, relax, and be entertained. And it was while watching one of these Hallmark Channel movies that I thought of you in this very moment. I was watching a movie that was titled Love in Store. And the setting was a home shopping network set, much like QVC. And one of the main characters ended every one of his segments with the same question for his viewers. Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Upon investigation, I found out this is the last line in a piece of poetry by Mary Oliver. Her poem is very simple, not multi-stanza, no complicated rhyme schemes. She describes spending the day strolling through a meadow and taking in, breathing in the details of nature. She studies a grasshopper. She watches it, how it eats, how it washes, takes in its own surroundings before it flies away. This is time well spent, maintains the author, because our time to do so is not infinite. Tell me, members of the class of 2020, what will you do with your one wild and precious life? It goes without saying that these past 4 months have been difficult, and you may forever be resentful of what COVID-19 took from you as seniors. And that would be understandable. But Ms. Oliver and I would challenge you to focus on the positives, which in life can be far more difficult. Let us not forget that there have been some silver linings throughout this. Air pollutants have drastically been reduced because of the lockdown. Animal shelters saw a rise in adoptions, and in some cases, were left with empty cages. Outdoor activities like walking, biking, and hiking saw a resurgence in popularity among all ages. People rediscovered the joy of taking the Sunday ride just to get out of the house. Family life driven by extracurricular activities and meeting schedules came to a screeching halt, and the calendars were empty. Dust was blown off board games, puzzles, and playing cards. Grocery stores sold out of yeast and flour as the art of baking bread was rediscovered. And a daily dose of Cooking 101, hosted by the Hecox family, was eagerly anticipated. We were forced to reconnect and rediscover using the way of life from another lifetime, a simpler lifetime. We were forced to slow down and notice things. Class of 2020, do not equate graduation with the end of your learning. Embrace a future filled with discovering who you are and where you fit in the world. Do not always look at the spring of your senior year with dark and stormy eyes. Instead, focus on the fact that you will leave us today with life lessons experienced by no other recent graduating class. Among them, the importance of human connection and of slowing down now and then to appreciate the little things in life. Remember these as you leave us to become a big red bear, a Dutchman, a bobcat, a fighting tiger, a Nittany lion, a mountaineer, a Seminole, bobcat, a member of the wolf pack, a dolphin, a colonel, a hawk, a red dragon, a golden flyer, a Bonnie, a Laker, or remember them as you enter the military, like Robert Tonner, the Navy, the Marines if you're Lane Johnson, Stephen Jellick, and Lucas Burrows, the Air Force like Erica Young, the Army ROTC like Emma Knutson, and the Fire Academy, Tyler Froh. And of course, there is that one more piece of advice. If you ever have a need for comfort, light yet insightful entertainment, watch a Hallmark movie. Tell me, class of 2020, what is it you will do with your one wild and precious life? I cannot wait to find out. Go Jackets. Congratulations. So without any further ado, Superintendent Brindley, members of the Board of Education, parents, family, and friends, I hereby certify that these students have completed the requirements for graduation as established by the New York State Department of Education, and I hereby confer upon them the title of high school graduates.
And now if you'd please rise for the presentation of diplomas. Megan Catella. Olivia Hanbridge. Olivia Hansen. Ryan Hasbrook. Jacob Haynes. Kiara Hazard. Martine Hitchcock. Bradley Jacobs. Ashley James. Stephen Jellick. Gibson. Lane Johnson. Mala Johnson. Elias Cavrazonis. Emma Knudsen. Cameron Coffer. Sarah Conyu. Nathaniel Kuhlman. Jillian LaHood. Ariana Lang. Levi LaTourette. Sydney Lawrence. Zaire Lawrence.
Congratulations, Dee. Great job. Mom and Dad, great job. Congratulations.
Olivia Litzinger. Devin Laux. Andrew Lutz. Get in. I'll get in. Edward McGraw. Kylie McKee. Isaac Medina. Leah Medina. Bradley Morrell. Nadia Nelson. Jacob O'Brien Clapper. Olivia O'Donnell. Emile Ogeron.
Congratulations. Great job. Great job for the family here. Great job.
Alexander Osterhout.
Congratulations. Great job. Great job. Very well. Very well.
Hastings Otieno.
Hey, Hazy. Congratulations. Congratulations, Mommy. You're very welcome.
Hannah Weemet.
Hey, Hannah. Congratulations, honey. Congratulations.
Juliana Pigeon.
Congratulations, huh? Great job. Oh, great job. Congratulations.
Would you please join us in the singing of the alma mater, which could be found on your chair or on the back of today's program. And we will be serenaded by our own choral recording but students, sing it out because I know you know it.